I guess that's where the problem starts a bit, because you said na core subjects come in the third semester, but the core subjects are operating system, architecture, and when you eventually get the interviews, and although there's DSA, but the level of DSA taught in college, like okay, this normal binary tree, and they'll teach you the normal stuff, they'll get away with it. They'll not teach you in depth, or maybe they'll go with gate. That's a completely different approach. They'll not go with the what FANG companies ask these days, according to my experience. So, and what I've researched about it. So how do you, like, when you started this, you definitely found websites and all, but how could you manage academic excellence, that is preparing for hardcore CS, like theoretical and that academic level approach, and this is more of a, I don't know, like it's a comparative approach towards DSA, because it's solving questions, and it's a completely different ball game. And these two things, academic excellence in college, usually are measured in CGPA, and this DSA approach is usually measured in ratings and different. There are a lot of things, like CodeChef has ratings, and you have like candidate master in Code Forces. How do you manage both of these things, and how do you say a person is academically excellent in college and in computer science? Over to you.
Yeah, so as you said, the metrics that we utilize for figuring out if you are good at academics or good at coding, they are totally different. In fact, academics, competitive coding, and the actual work you do in companies, they are so different that you just can't imagine. You can see a number of students who are really good at competitive programming, but when it comes to doing actual work, delivering something, they suck at it. And the reason is pretty clear, because they have all their focus on optimizing solutions, getting output, they are learning about algorithms, but that's not actually what is required when you actually work for a company. Those are just the filters that you have to clear. But when you appear for any interview, you just have to appear for the coding sessions, you have to clear questions like these, but these are not really utilized. Now, the question is, can somebody really excel in academia and on the same hand also keep up with the competitive programming or the new technologies? Theoretically, yes, there are people who do this, but if you are smart enough, you won't really do that, because you have a choice. You have X amount of hours that you could spend your effort in. It's up to you. Do you want to spend all of it in academia, or do you want to split it half and half? It depends on you.
Okay.
For me, academia was something I was really passionate about. So I really love to study. I really love to excel in exams. I really love to score the highest marks in the university. So I had a very good streak of scoring more than 9.6, 9.7 CGPA throughout my semesters. And there was a trade-off, which I did. I'm not super happy about it, what I did. But yes, there was a trade-off. I decided to, give a little more edge on academia, less on the extra stuff that I should have been learning.
Sure.
But eventually it worked out.
Eventually.
But if you ask me today what you should be doing, I'll say just maintain a CGPA of 8.5 or 8 and focus on the rest of the stuff. Because academia, it's okay, unless you want to go for masters or you want to get into research or something, your grades doesn't really matter.